welcome back to day 17. And today we are going to Lochinfada. And there are actually quite a few Lochinfadas in Scotland, but this is one that is kind of near Torridon. And it's in the middle of this kind of area called the Fisher Fields. There's some really cool mountains. It's kind of one of those areas where there's no roads in the middle, so you can do some really awesome trekking through it. But also, the middle of it is not easy to get to. So this was actually the day before my birthday, and the previous, 3 birthdays were not great because I'd been ill. I think actually the best of the 3 had been the first one, because at that point I still sort of naively thought that things were improving and I had no idea what was coming. And then the next one and the next 2 really were not good. I've always loved birthdays, so having a birthday where I felt terrible and couldn't do the things that I would normally do, it felt particularly awful because it was my birthday. Anyway, this year I was like, well, I can enjoy my birthday. Actually, we didn't really go out and do much on my birthday itself, but we did go out the day before. And I can't actually remember how we came up with this trek. But we decided that this would be a really cool place to go and to swim and to get into the middle of all these hills. But there was a walk that you could do that kind of went along and then sort of over and then back round. So we weren't going like up hills. It was more kind of like sticking to the glens and stuff. And it wasn't an easy walk as such. And it ended up actually being a lot longer than we thought it was going to be. But, it was supposed to be kind of like a, lower level one. I think the reason for this was that it was like super windy up high, but it was also just nice to be able to do this and get into the centre of all of this really cool area of of hills and stuff. And, it was lovely. We got there, and actually, in order to get there, we had to take our shoes off and wade across a river. So, I really should have realised quite how cold it was going to be. But in July, you don't really think that the water's going to feel that cold. It's obviously going to feel cold when you go in, but, compared to during the winter, stuff had basically kind of warmed up by then. So it was, we just thought it was going to be like another loch to swim in. So when we finally got round there and started getting in, it was like, oh my goodness, what? How is it this cold? It kind of felt like Loch Ness in February. And we couldn't believe it because we thought, well, it's not that high. But I think it was a combination of it being higher but also big. So it hadn't really warmed up. It was absolutely incredible, but oh my goodness, was it cold. But it felt so lovely to swim somewhere a bit more remote. It feels amazing. And I still love Loch Ness. It is such a special place for me, but it doesn't feel like an adventure going there anymore. Whereas this really did feel like a bit of an adventure. It felt very cool to have got there. I think I was still sort of pinching myself about the whole, I can do this stuff now. It was the sort of trying to make myself believe that recovery happened, that I was good. So every time I was able to sort of do something a bit more or do something that I was really excited about, it was like, it's okay, this is stuff we can do now. And I just had to kind of keep reminding myself of that. It was very, very cool. A sort of birthday trip that wasn't quite my birthday, but, it was pretty awesome.